Welcome, everyone. It's Matt along with Choco, and today we're going to talk about Tulien, so stay tuned. All right, so Tulien is the newest Neovision we're going to get. Super Limit Burst character, unfortunately. Just real quick, the Tulien Step Up Summon is 25,000 Lapis. It does not guarantee a Tulien, but will guarantee you at least three Neovisions and a special card, which I'll talk about a little later. That we're not exactly sure exactly what is going to be and if it's worth it. But real quick, let's just go through Tulien. He has uh, two. His Trust Master is actually interesting. It is a reduce attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 85%, and decrease earth resistance for 130, and that's for 3 turns to all enemies. So what that's going to do is allow you to not bring a breaker. Yes, if the optimal breaker is going to be 89, 90% right now, but this is actually useful for some strategies, and it's a Trust Master, not an STMR. So all in all, very, very actually useful Trust Master reward, unlike a lot of other units where you kind of just go, whatever. But you only need one of these. Maybe you grab a second one in case we ever actually start getting two different or the three different team things. Gumi, please do that. That would be really fun. Where you have different teams bringing into battle where you need it, but even then, you can still usually alternate teams. But if you have to start using equipment for that specific thing and share it, that might be interesting. But otherwise, you just need one. The axe here is a very good axe. It's a 200 to two-handed weapon with a very high variance of 1.1 to 1.9. It gives 100% magic and physical damage to machines, and for Tyrion only increases the static attack by 500. In all honesty, you're not really going to be very interested in using Tyrion for the most part, unfortunately. He is more of just useful for his STMR and his TMR, but also his card, which is very interesting. Once again, really, you just need one, and even so, it gives 80 attack, 80 defense. It allows your hero to be targeted up to 50%, and the true hero, which gives you physical evasion of 30%. And you're kind of going mad. Why the hell do you care? Well, that allows you to get rid of. So, if you do not have two Moogle charms, this will replace one of those Moogle charms for you, which is actually very helpful. Since most of the time, your dodge tank provoke is going to be on a unit that's not going to do damage. So having it on the vision card is just fine and dandy. And even if you do have two Moogle charms, uh, that allows you to equip like Awakened Range STMR if you need 30% of a lot of elements resist. It does kind of help you there. And some of the others can give you up to 50 or 60 specific elements in that slot. So it frees up an accessory slot, and with the physical evasion 30%, depending on how you have to build a team, if you have to build the whole team, evasion, then that could save up to 2 slots. Or if you just care about the dodge tank, it saves probably 1 slot, maybe 2 slots from materia, which once again can go to magical element resists, which allow you to obviously save up room. So it's very useful, but you just need one of these. And everything else really isn't not necessary unless, once again, we start getting some more interesting, like tower, where you have to have 3 separate teams with 3 separate pieces of equipment or something. But right now we don't have it, and the way that Gumi's been going, doubtful we will ever. All right, so let's just go quickly now through the his overall skills. His resistances are 20 earth and 20 wind, nothing there. His weapons are very limited, spears and axes, and the armors are just as limited overall. His first skill, I'm the only true hero, which he definitely is not, is just your normal 30% earth, whatever element, and he's an earth based attack. So he's earth, 300% attack, 200% LB, and 30 limit burst gauge character. whoop de woo. Pretty much every unit has something like this. This is no exception, except he's for Earth, which is probably our weakest overall element. Um, he has the ability to do bolting strike and fire at Earth with 68x and 130 lower resistances for 4 turns. The 130 is kind of nice, but in all honesty, he's just fire and earth, and beforehand we had fire and ice. You'll start just seeing a whole bunch of different elements running through because, in all honesty, this is what we're going to be seeing for the next couple of months outside of our cow units and hopefully Chinese New Year. Has the ability to do three triple ability. He can provoke to get 100% 3 turns to caster, which is not useful at all since he's a super limit burst character. You're not going to use him for this at all, so this is a worthless skill. And these other 2 skills, he has pretty weak breaks overall. Honestly, his TMR is better than this. Why? I don't know. I really don't know at all. So he has EX3 gives him 500 attack. This gives him his full limit burst at EX2. Nothing difference here. He gets 4 LB per turn, which allows him to do it in 8 turns, which once again is not that useful unless if you're really trying to count up its ticks. He casts full break at the start of the battle, which is okay, 75% to everything, which you can kind of use overall. Hates plants and really hates machines at 200, 150 respectively. He is a true double hand unit, which maybe is why that they're putting, but so is Tobias. And he has the ability to, with this TMR, to have 50% more target, 30% evasion. Fine. He can be a full evasion tank that gives him a decent amount of attack, but really he is not a great unit. His LB gauge gets to max pretty much at the start of the battle, like you expect. His normal attack is 33 hit X with 2 hits and lowers fire and earth by 110 for 2 turns. That's actually one of his best skills is his normal attack, so not really all that great. As I say, first full break gives you 70%. Kind of useful. Now, the big thing here is his limit burst. His normal limit burst actually decreases earth resistance by 140%, which is massive, and gives defense and spirit by 87%. Here's our first real axe resistance, lowering at 25% as well, and increases his LB damage 150 for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled. So basically, the goal is if we have to use him, and I'm not really planning on pulling for him very much, then you use that, and then you once his super limit burst comes up, he gets a much higher physical damage and also the highest earth resistance we've seen so far at 145%. So in all fairness, this is not the most exciting unit at all. Really, it is a pretty skippable unit, unless if you love Tulien. He's a odd duck that kind of don't really like in the story, so not a huge fan here. But I would like to also just quickly talk about Leave Things to Me. So this is a global exclusive card. It is looks like to be a premium card where level 1 you get all 3. It gives 110 attack and 110 defense, which is important for super limit burst characters. Unfortunately, especially if you're going to use them in cow, but really for the most part, you only going to really want to use them in dark visions or trials. Has flat attack of 250 and defense boosts with limit for various chains by 50%. Remember, this is specifically designed for true double hand. So an FFB unit will get 200%, which is pretty big overall. And the earth reduced resistance to large swords and fire and earth resistance for all enemies at the beginning of the battles really is going to be what makes this a great card. or a bad card. So the big questions are: how long is this going to last? Is this 1 turn, 3 turns, 5 turns? The resistance to large swords right now, we've got a pretty low max here of 30% from Napi. If it gives 30% there, then this will be actually really great for Tobias. And then if you have Cardin, you can use Tobias's card. If you have Tobias's card, even for that. And the other questions is, what's the fire and earth resistance going to be? 80%, 100%, 135%. Basically, for me, this card will be worth it, and I know that's even for its own discussion. If and only if the large swords, at least one of these have to be true. It needs to be above 30%. The fire and earth resistance for all enemies needs to be at least 100%, if not 120. Once again, that's still only going to be very useful for those units. And at the beginning of the battle, how long is it going to be? For super limit burst units, really this needs to last at least 3 turns so that you have the EX3. I would prefer it to be 4 or 5, but I think then it'll be way too powerful. So it really needs to have 3 turns at the beginning of a battle. I mean, if it's 1 turn, you can use it for a one shot for, so you don't have to worry about fire and earth resistance, but it really limits the use of the card. So we have no idea what it is right now, and I'm doing this on a Tuesday. On Thursday, we'll take a look at the card, and then we'll really have to start doing the calculations. Is it worth it? For free-to-play players, it probably isn't going to be worth it unless if it is super powerful. Even then, it will be 25,000 lapis to get this card. I don't like the direction that they're going with this. It is not a 100% pay gated card, but with the units that are coming through and with all the limited units that we're going through, at this point, it for most people practically is pay gated. So we shall see. All in all, I kind of don't like that they're doing cards like this for people like me who do spend money on the game. It's quote unquote cheaper than getting these premium cards, especially if your luck is bad, which I've known a lot of my friends having some really bad luck on this banner. So, on the previous banner. So I'll hold my decision till then. But what do you guys think? I think I already got a good feel from a lot of the community. Please like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and y'all have a good one. Now, if there is any questions from the chat, I am going to answer them. But you can also join me. I usually have these on Tuesdays at around noon on my channel on twitch.tv/MagGuru. But y'all have a good one, and goodbye.